Big fluff.
Did you do it?
Did I do it?
Did you do it?
Did I do
Ray,
what?
did you do it?
Did I do what? The
Did
pig?
you do it?
Howard,
Ray, did you do it?
did I do?
Did you do it?
Did I do
Ray,
what?
did you do it?
Did I do what?
Did you do it?
Did I do what?
I know you didn't do it.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel Murphy.
And I'm Andy McIntyre.
And this is Silver Linings Playback, the podcast where we watch maligned movies and we find their silver linings.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is September. And you know what that means. Nicolas Cage Month!
Beef!
Nicolas Cage! Month of Nicolas Cage movies! It's Nicolas Cage Month.
Andy, I just have a quick question real quick.
Yeah.
You know, I'd asked you like to send out that newsletter about Nicolas Cage Month to our listeners. Did you do it?
Do what?
Did you do it?
Did I do what?
Did you do it?
Did I do what?
Did you do it?
Did I do what? Did I do
Did you
what?
do it?
Did I do what?
Did you do it?
Did I do what?
Not gonna do it? Did you do it?
Did I do what?
Did you do it?
Did I do what?
I know you didn't do it.
Okay, good. We watched the 2018 movie Looking Glass.
Yeah, we
is what
did.
we did do.
You know what's great about that title from the start? It's obviously a play on like Alice in Wonderland, that kind of through the looking glass, but also just literally true. There's literally a piece of glass that he looks through to watch people in their hotel
he looks
rooms.
through glass. Although a looking glass is actually just an old name for a mirror.
But that's what I'm saying. It's literally true. Like it's the title is just functionally correct and also evocative. So
Yep.
A+.
Listen.
Early silver
Early
lining.
silver lining.
Accurately titled.
Yep. And this is maybe the most accurately titled besides Ghost Rider.
Which I might have told this story before on the podcast, but I years ago obviously saw the movie The Ring with my dad, and I asked him what he thought when we were leaving, and literally his comment was, "I don't understand why they called it The Ring. They should have called it 7 Days." That was literally all he said to me about that movie.
He's not wrong.
Mm-hmm. That was his take, though. Yeah.
I mean,
so my dad would love Looking Glass.
You know what? Again, Nicolas Cage, I was thinking about it. A lot of his movies are very accurately titled.
That's true. It's usually a case of like, yeah, this airplane is full of convicts. No, his face is off. Like, yeah.
They're going to Alcatraz, which is nicknamed The Rock.
Yeah. I mean, the only one that's really not true is, was it Leaving Las Vegas, obviously.
Yeah, he doesn't leave Las Vegas.
Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. He doesn't make it out. Because he is indeed raising Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And he does get moonstruck.
Yeah, I mean, most of them, I mean, Spider-Man goes into the Spider-Verse. Like, usually they're really on it.
You know, just right dead on the nose with his movie titles.
Yeah.
You know, there's a movie about Renfield.
Yeah, honestly, maybe Mandy is about a character named Mandy. Maybe he's demanding this.
And the movie Pig is largely about a pig.
I mean, more than it's about anything else. Yeah.
Wally's Wonderland. It doesn't have a clever title like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's just Wally's Wonderland.
I mean,
that's what it is. Adaptation.
It's literally about adapting a book into a movie.
You know what? I have to assume now, you know, was it The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's not.
I'm
it's
sure.
Not wrong.
I'm sure.
Pedro Pascal is one hell of a talented actor.
But it is. I mean, it's funny because we've been doing this show and Nicolas Cage Month for what, 5 years now? Like quite a long time. And it's interesting to see because I feel like Nic Cage is definitely someone who fluctuates in and out of the zeitgeist. And I think there's currently, a bit of a Cage-assance, or maybe that's cresting, but you get that stuff like Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's a little more ironic Nic Cage or whatever, like it's Nic Cage being in on the joke, if you want to say, which I have really mixed feelings about. I like that people are appreciating Nic Cage, but I also feel like they're appreciating him wrong, if that makes sense.
No, I would say in on the joke, Nic Cage is worse to Nic Cage.
Yes, it's more fun instead of like trying to create a meme, just seeing the fun is in seeing what Nic Cage does with a role, because it's what only Nic Cage would think to do with a role. And I think if you try to manufacture that, the goal should be to find the most boring thing possible. Like Nic Cage plays a middle manager, like Nic Cage, like
Nic
plays
Cage
an
in Death of a
optometrist.
Salesman.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that would be good.
He'd be a hell of a Willy Loman. Especially if because here's the other thing that I think is a true fact about Nic Cage is no matter the movie, Nic Cage gives the exact performance the movie deserves.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this in previous years for sure. Like Nic Cage is always on. He's always right about.
Yeah. If the movie deserves scenery chewing a la the Sorcerer's Apprentice, he just munches that scenery for 90 minutes. If it requires like a deep, nuanced, thoughtful, pensive performance a la Adaptation, that's one of the best acting performances of the last 30 years, I think, objectively.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy that he was like arguably the third best acting performance in that movie, too. Or at least third best acclaimed, because Chris Cooper won Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor for his part, and he was great. Meryl Streep was nominated. I think Nic Cage was nominated too, but like, here's a hot take: Adaptation, good movie.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I remember, I think it did get nominated, but I remember there was controversy with nominating it for Best Original Screenplay or Best Adapted Screenplay because Donald Kaufman was credited as a screenwriter, and so it was a fictional character being nominated for a real award, which created problems for the nomination.
Yeah, because although like it's no different than saying it's a pseudonym.
Well, but he credited himself and Donald. It was
and
Charlie
Donald
and
Kaufman.
Donald Kaufman both wrote the screenplay.
It's me and a pseudonym. Because like the Coen brothers, what is it? Is it Roger Deakins that doesn't exist?
No, Deakins is the cinematographer.
It's the editor
real.
that didn't. They
made
have
up
a
an
fake
editor.
name for the editor that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, that's
Because
correct.
they edit a lot of their own movies.
Yes. But yeah, no, Deakins is a very famous and very good cinematographer.
Yeah, no, but it's, the editing in the Coen brothers movies are great. So you could argue that their stage name for their editor is also a very good editor.
Yeah, but their fake editor isn't taking other work on other films.
No, that's true. They're not getting credited in other realms.
Yeah.
I do think at one point there was even an IMDb page for Donald Kaufman that had Adaptation and The Three.
I'm shocked The Three hasn't been made.
It checks out.
But I think it's been clear, but if not, just to restate it, obviously this week we were talking about Looking Glass specifically.
Yeah. The laser focus you've come to expect from your SLP boys.
Love. But yeah, so as we kind of stated, Looking Glass. Well, actually, do you want to handle the description? Because I know that you read some of the Wikipedia. So if you want to handle.
This movie, just a little background, came out in 2018, is directed by Tim Hunter, who actually has a really impressive filmography in TV. Like, name a prestige TV show from the last 25 to 30 years, and he's probably directed episodes.
Right. Also, he directed The River's Edge, which is like a pretty well-respected and well-known Keanu Reeves River Phoenix. I think that's who it is. But it's the man works a lot and has a very well-respected and long career.
But yeah, no, he's just to kind of go through the things he's directed. He's directed episodes of Breaking Bad, Carnival, Chicago Hope, Homicide: Life on the Street, Twin Peaks, Glee, Pretty Little Liars. Like, he's directed a lot. Falcon Crest, zing. You know, yeah, has a pretty impressive filmography, and surprisingly limited as a cinema director. But
Yeah.
most of his work is in television.
Also,
but he has
sorry.
go ahead.
Crispin Glover. Nah, that was, I think because River's Edge, I was like, River Phoenix, right? And I was like, who's the other? It's Crispin Glover was the other person.
Very different than River Phoenix.
Played it exactly the same.
Yeah, it would have been the exact same performance. Yeah. Anyways, so, Wikipedia is a wonderful resource, and it's one of the few things that's able to stay free on the internet. But to read the synopsis of this movie, it felt like it was on in the background when they wrote about it.
Probably.
The one paragraph that I want to read, this is fairly later in the movie, so I think just to give a little bit of a synopsis, Ray, who is Nicolas Cage, and his wife Maggie, played by Robin Tunney from The Craft and Empire Records, their kid dies in a mysterious accident. So they cope with that by buying a motel on the road to Las Vegas.
Classic.
As one does.
Mm-hmm.
And this hotel is a bit suspicious. There's the guy named Ben that sells it to them is a weirdo. And as soon as he sells it to him, disconnects his phone so they can't contact him back. And it turns out that after the titular looking glass is there's a tunnel under the hotel that goes to a two-way mirror to room number 10 so that you can voyeuristically watch whoever is in room number 10.
Yes.
And it also involves, so there's like a woman named Strawberry Blonde that regularly has BDSM sex with other women in there. There's a guy named Tommy, played by Ernie Lively, the father of Blake Lively and Robin Lively, or stepfather of Robin Lively. And Baltimore native that also solicits prostitutes in there, and so on and so forth. But
he's a trucker.
He's a trucker, yes.
Shows up with sex workers and like a different one each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then one of Strawberry Blonde's sexual partners dies mysteriously. Might be a suicide, might not be. At some point, there's a pig with the woman's name on it that's thrown in the pool. It's a whole thing.
Well, that's I just want to be clear. There's two different mysterious murders, because there's the murder of the woman who stays in the motel that Nicolas Cage interacts with that happens during the movie. But the pig is actually a reference to right before the timeline that we're given in the movie is that Nicolas Cage came to look at the motel, and then the next day a body was found in the pool of like a young woman who was gutted, like someone took a knife and like slit her, her stomach and threw her into the pool.
Yes. And this is the aforementioned Chrissy, and the pig that's found has a piece of paper with Chrissy written on it, stuffed in the center of the pig,
and a photo of her.
Yeah. And Ray takes that pig carcass and burns it off in the middle of nowhere,
which must have smelled delicious.
Yes. It probably smelled like roast pork, and that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And all the meanwhile, there's this cop named Tommy that's investigating. That was Marc Blucas from the opening clip that was interrogating Nic Cage, saying, "Did you do it?
Do what?
Did you do it?
Do what?
Did you do it?
Do what?
You didn't do it." But so we're getting plenty distracted, but I feel like Marc Blucas is a name of that a really dumb guy named Mark Lucas uses that he thinks is hiding his identity.
Or it's what you get from a member of the Blue Man Group. They leave a Marc Blucas on your cheek.
They do leave. That is the famous the hazing that you have to go through to be part of the Blue Man Group, is you get a Marc Blucas.
From each of the other members.
The other Blue Man Groups in your particular Blue Man Group give you a Marc Blucas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know that you're in the blue. That's when you know you've made it. You've been welcomed. You're no longer a trainee.
We already talked, like you're talking about Wikipedia, but if anyone out there is an editor of Urban Dictionary, please get that up there as soon as possible.
Yeah, that I'm Marc Blucas. But no, it definitely sounds like I'm not Marc Lucas. I'm Marc Blucas. Totally different person. I'm Guy Incognito.
Yeah, it sounds like someone who's really confused about the name of the guy who did Star Wars. You know what I'm talking about, the Star Wars guy, Marc Blucas.
Do you mean George Lucas or Mark Hamill?
Yeah, the Star Wars
I'm pretty sure
guy.
it's Marc Blucas. No, it's like your aunt that has had too much red wine and is trying to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that Marc Blucas, the guy that did the Star Wars, him. Anyways, the paragraph.
You know the cantina music is called jizz. Thanks.
Thanks, Aunt Sally. Thanks.
Can I have more turkey, please?
I love that we live in a world where Aunt Sally knows that the music in Star Wars is called jizz, but doesn't know George Lucas's name.
It's the details that catch her attention versus the ones
that's
that
fair.
sail past her.
That's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
So anyways, to get to this ridiculous Wikipedia paragraph, Ray ends up pursuing Strawberry Blonde. He propositions her. She says no. And then he says, stay away from my hotel. Yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So the paragraph is, when Ray returns to the motel, Maggie is furious and reveals that Howard had interrogated her about him. Howard is the cop, right? Not Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
Strawberry Blonde had also advised her to keep an eye on Ray. They have a fight, but Ray manages to calm Maggie down. He shows the one-way mirror to Maggie and admits to having watched other people have sex. So by calm her down, he means they had angry fight sex.
Yeah. And the actual timeline is they have angry fight sex and then they're like, they both go to sleep. And then when she wakes up in the morning, she's going to leave. And he goes, wait, hold on. Because she knows he's lying, but she doesn't know what he's lying about. And he's like, fine, I'll tell you everything. And then he tells her about the mirror. Yeah.
But it's just weird that it says he calms her down. Is that what happened?
It's not, because she also still wrong. But she also still leaves.
Right.
Like, she still is like, you got to sort this out. Like, I'm going to give you some time to like figure your life out.
But yeah. And so anyways, to wrap up the plot of the movie, eventually Maggie gets kidnapped. Ray sees her in room 10 through the mirror and then realizes that Howard, the cop, the aforementioned Marc Blucas, is the one that has been doing all the murders and is going to murder Maggie and make it look like a murder-suicide with Ray.
Yes.
And then Ray kills him and they leave. And then the movie ends.
Yeah, which is spectacular because what Ray does is he kind of taps on his side of the two-way mirror to get the cop to walk forward towards it and then jumps through it and spears him to the ground. And then they get in a fight.
And then he shoots him.
Yeah, he ends up shooting him in the head and then they escape, which I don't know would solve their problems, but ends the movie regardless.
Yeah. Not a lot of denouement in this film.
No. They just kind of drive out of town and everyone watches them drive out of town.
Like, there goes another looking glass.
Yeah. Oh, and also he does eventually find the guy who used to own the hotel, and that guy is killed by a sniper while they're talking.
Yeah. That I think we're meant to assume is Howard.
I mean, it's the only, but I think that this is fair. Like, having set up the plot of the movie, I think a place to malign it and a thing to talk about is, I think the movie successfully, for me at least, and I think it has a good director who's worked a lot. Like, I thought it created intrigue in a way that I was like, okay, what's happening here? A lot of weird stuff is happening. Also, the thing with room 10 is everyone kept requesting room 10, which seemed to imply that maybe the people like the trucker and the dominatrix, like that they knew that they could be watched through the mirror. That was the impression I got, that like that was maybe a deal with the previous, because they were like very hyper specific about I want room 10.
And they would be very upset if offered any other room.
Right. So to me, that implies that they know the mirror's there, that's like wink, wink. We're letting you watch it. Then maybe that was something that the previous owner was into. And that was just like the deal for everyone. But there's a lot of sort of this like vibe of, you know, Nicolas Cage being an outsider and he stumbled into this town, and you get the impression that like, you know, the guy at the gas station is being very weird and keeping tabs on him, and someone throws the pig in the pool and the local teens are watching him. There's a real implication that everyone might be a suspect or everyone might be in on it, which I liked. But then the ultimate resolution after creating all this intrigue is just like, the only other character we've spent any real time with, the cop, he did everything. And it's just a really underwhelming like, oh, so the most likely suspect, because literally who else could it have been in the movie, is the guy who did everything. Right.
Because there's the other creepy guy. He wasn't the gas station proprietor, like the kind of the skinny, weird looking guy. Or was he the gas station owner?
I think you are thinking. Yeah, I think you're thinking of the gas station guy.
I don't know, like this movie sort of feels like instead of watching one season of a TV series, you just watch a supercut of the last week-ons. Yeah. Like, I feel like this could have been a much better series than it was a movie, even though it's kind of a thin movie.
Yeah, no, if it turned out that like multiple things were happening and there was more of a conspiracy to the town, if it sort of like was an idea where Nicolas Cage accidentally bought the motel that's like at the center of all of the weird stuff that's happening in town.
Right. That, because I would say the most like direct parallel between the director's other works is this has a very Twin Peaks vibe.
100%. Yeah.
But like Twin Peaks for someone that's only heard about Twin Peaks.
Well, Twin Peaks in that you literally hired a director who knows the aesthetic and feel of Twin Peaks, but a writer who's not accomplishing Twin Peaks. It's like a David Lynch-less Twin Peaks of like, I mean, it feels like it could be an episode if I had the sound off.
Yeah, because like not to get ahead of our silver linings or anything, but like it's shot really well. The lighting is awesome. The mood is the vibes are really cool. But yeah, just not necessarily the dialogue, but like the overall plot writing is super thin for this movie. Right.
Yeah, there's just not enough happening to really create a mystery, because a mystery needs misdirects and multiple suspects and stakes. I think the closest they get, and it didn't really work for me because if it had been the payoff, I would have really disliked it, is they try to make you think the only real red herring is the possibility that Nicolas Cage is the one who's done the murders, which I feel like I've seen a lot of versions of that movie and it's never satisfying. The like, you don't remember that you're the murder plot. You know, it's never great.
No, it's really not.
So I was glad they didn't go that way, but it's like, so if it's not Nicolas Cage, well, again, it could have, I guess, been the trucker, and I guess it could have been the dominatrix, but neither of those would have made any sense or felt satisfying. And then so literally
the gas station guy,
maybe the gas station guy, but we didn't really spend enough time with him for that to feel like it would have worked. So really the only character that hung around a lot and like made an impact and felt like they are a satisfying choice in that like narratively it tracks is the cop. And so it's like, okay, yeah, it's the cop. And then it's like, oh, okay.
All right.
Sure. But also like it has that feeling of like, if it's the cop and the cop knows that it's him, like, what is he doing the whole movie? Like, so he knows who the murderer is.
Is he there for us?
Yeah. Like he's just killing time. Like there's no point. I guess he's trying to find the previous owner, because maybe the previous owner knows something. And then once he's like taken out, then he feels that he can take out Nic Cage. But that feels like I'm being generous to.
Well, yeah, because like it seems like he's essentially a serial killer. So pinning these run of murders on Nic Cage doesn't stop him from serial killing.
No,
like, it would be assumedly he would kill again.
Yeah.
And again,
that's kind
and
of the
again.
thing. Yeah, it's definitely the thing.
Right? So like, yeah. And just like they randomly throw in the fact that it doesn't pay off in any way that they're escaping the death of their child.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing they really do with that is that they try to use that as like maybe Nicolas Cage is the murderer, because the cop says to him, like, I looked into what happened to your daughter and your daughter fell from a window and died. So like, I don't know, man. Seems like a lot of weird, suspicious deaths happen around you, you know, trying to use that to tie him to. But it seems like it is just that their daughter fell out a window. But
it's also sort of implied that it was because Robin Tunney like was high on drugs and wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also like, yeah, it has that, but then that's not really a meaningful through line in the movie either, because she doesn't really seem like she's using a lot of drugs throughout the course of the movie.
Or that she's like trying to be clean and sober or anything.
Right. It just, there's like one scene where he's like realizes she's about to start using and tries to stop her. And then there's also like what probably is the most interesting idea in this movie. And I think what I think is somewhat successful, but then again, it just doesn't really lead anywhere, is I did like that Nicolas Cage accidentally discovers that he can look into this hotel room. It's like he didn't build it. He didn't want this, but he realized it's there.
But it's here now.
But it's here, and the sort of allure of realizing that, and just like the temptation is too much, and especially when like he and his wife are not having the best time in their relationship, there's a lot of distance between them, that it's just sort of like, I thought that all made sense. And then like, yeah, he's flirting with the dominatrix character and trying to make something happen there. I liked all of that.
There's also the weird subplot of him like having sex dreams about the cleaning lady.
Yeah. Yeah, because he just starts fantasizing about anyone that he sees in the room, like through the glass.
Yeah. I think the main thing with this movie is that there are a lot of interesting starts, but very few interesting finishes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's I think that's a perfect way.
All that to say, I think I'm ready to pivot.
I think I'm ready to pivot.
Pivot!
This
movie looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is an incredibly accomplished veteran director of, you know, mostly television, but also film. But yeah, he's someone who's worked on all these high profile things, like you said, and it looks phenomenal. I love all the lighting choices. So many great shots of like neon motel signs, and just like, you know, like drowning someone, like Nicolas Cage is drowned in like blue light when he's like,
just like using the like ambient or diegetic light to seem like the light. Like there doesn't seem to ever be artificial light sources outside of what you can actually see. And it's never too dark. And a lot of this movie takes place in like seedy bars and things like that. No, it is shot so well and it looks so good that I wish the script was better.
Right. Also, man, we pivoted. I forgot to ask this, and I don't even know that I'm maligning it, but like, did the layout of how he got to the two-way mirror make any sense? Because I feel like he climbed up and then was level with the ground in the end. like he climbed a ladder to get to where the mirror was, but then,
well, I think the tunnel was not between the walls. It was like down underneath the non-basement of this hotel.
Okay, so he was in. Okay, I feel like the geography was a little confusing to me.
I think they didn't put a ton of thought into that bit, that maybe the production design was lacking in that one part, because the rest of the production design is actually really good in this.
Yes.
No, I got the sense that like this was built on, the desert, so it didn't have a very deep foundation or anything like that. So he was kind of like going almost like in a crawl, like a non-existent crawl space. And then he had to climb up to get back to eye level.
Okay, yeah, I think I was just confused because he climbs a ladder to get to it.
Yeah, it's not as thought out as it maybe could have been.
But that being said, I will say that the two-way mirror effect I thought was so also some really great cinematography. Like the way that it looked when he was looking through the mirror was really cool. The only thing that I thought was missing with like when we talked about it before of like these people, the truck driver and the dominatrix and stuff, like choosing room 10, I kept waiting for one of them to look right into the mirror, like to kind of tip off that they knew that he could see them and like play to him a little bit. Yeah.
It felt like that needed to happen.
Yeah, it felt like a missing piece of like one of them for sure should have like if the truck driver just gave a like thumbs up, because he seemed like he had that relationship with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, the late great Ernie Lively absolutely would have done that.
Yeah, which I mean, while we're talking silver linings, Ernie Lively was a big silver lining for me.
He was awesome.
He like just of all the characters, and when you compare it to Twin Peaks, like he felt very much like a Twin Peaks character. This like kind of jovial truck driver who really is just, he overpays for the room. He's really affable. He's very particular about the room, and also new sex worker every time he rolls into town. That would fit perfectly in Twin Peaks if he was just a logger, like a truck driver for the logging company.
If he was driving the lumber back to.
Yeah. You just plug that right in,
It would have felt right on target.
I will say, too, the scene that felt the most Twin Peaks to me in dialogue, which I will take as a silver lining, was when the dominatrix character, when she was checking in to the room and Nicolas Cage was flirting with her, and he was doing this very like, if you need anything, and I mean anything, wink, wink. And then she goes, you know what this place really needs? And it's kind of this like, okay, yeah, where are we going with it? And she's just like, brochures. Like that felt very Twin Peaks, where she's just like,
it definitely did.
I loved that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's cheating to say that Nic Cage is a silver lining during Nic Cage Month.
Oh, but Nic Cage is always a silver lining. Like, yes. Yeah. Like it's not wrong.
It's not wrong, but I feel
it can't
like
be our sole silver lining, but yeah, I mean, it's why we do what we do.
No, this is. I look forward to September every year because we get to talk about Nicolas Cage movies, and he averages 4 movies a year.
That's the thing. We're not anywhere closer than when we started to like getting anywhere through his filmography.
No, it's still a ways. Although one thing, and this is sort of unrelated, but it seems like now that everyone's in on the Nic Cage joke, that his movies are, I think, getting unfairly praised sometimes. They're getting overhyped.
Yeah, like I said, I think that wave is gonna crash. I think we're gonna get back to an equilibrium with Cage, which I think works best for him to have the ups and downs.
Yeah, no, I think that is the ideal situation. But yeah, no, this movie it is worth it to, if you're like a film student or someone, that wants to study, get into filmmaking, to watch the camera work, to watch the lighting, to watch all that stuff. Like that is really where this movie is at its best.
Yeah. And for, I'm sure, a very low budget, which is where I think the TV background really comes in handy. Like it looks amazing, and I'm sure was shot very cheaply. It's basically a single location shoot.
Yeah.
That
you feel like even the bar they go to was a redressed room in the motel.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. I also, by the way, Robin Tunney, what a delight to see her pop up.
What a delight to see Robin Tunney back in action.
Yeah, it did make me happy to see her. Like, I actually think the cast overall, like, and especially for a movie like this, because a lot of times we've watched a lot of movies where they pay the money for Nicolas Cage and then they're kind of just filling out the roster with the cheapest options available or friends of the producer or something.
Right. It's central casting. Just like, give me the next 10 people that walk in the door.
Because even Kassia Conway, who I looked up, who really hasn't. This is the only film that she's done. She's done some TV stuff. She's actually a musician. But she played the Strawberry Blonde, the dominatrix character. I thought she was great. And I did enjoy that scene that you referenced in the Wikipedia thing of like when she's kind of looking at the photo of Nicolas Cage and goes like, is this your man? I'd keep an eye on that one if I were you. Like she's like taking up a lot of screen presence, you know, like she's like really holding her own in this movie. And I enjoyed her a lot. Like I think the whole cast was good. Obviously, Marc Blucas, big Marc Blucas guy.
I'm a big Marc Blucas guy.
Yeah.
I was reading a little bit about Marc Blucas because he's definitely that guy.
I've seen him before. Yeah.
Yeah. But he played Division I basketball at Wake Forest. So he played college basketball with Tim Duncan, which is pretty amazing.
Hey, yeah.
One of the best basketball players of all time. And his first movie was he was an extra in Eddie, the movie that we should probably watch for this podcast, where Whoopi Goldberg coaches the Knicks.
100%. We should
do that. Maybe the next round of sports movies that we do, that maybe Eddie is on the table.
I know a certain basketball coach that might
might be into talking about that. But like he did. First Daughter is probably his other biggest thing with Katie Holmes. But he was also on Buffy as Buffy's love interest in some of the later seasons. So he's had kind of an interesting that guy career. And then lately has just been doing Christmas movies.
That seems like where a lot of people end up. A lot of people find their way into that movies. Find their way. They make so many of them.
They do. They really do. And we're going to make ours. We have 2 on the horizon.
Yeah, we've got a few in the works. Once we can work out our deal with Vitco Productions, I think we're ready to roll.
Exactly. Yes. And then get Nikki Bilderback to come back and do another thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But no. And the other one is another minor role, but Bill Bolender as Ben, which I feel like is the most underwritten character in the movie. And I have so many questions about, is the guy that sold them the motel. But that's Elmo Blatch from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. No, he is really great. And I think, he's a great example of what we were talking about before, of like so much intriguing potential generated in guy who sells you a motel and then changes his phone number and goes off the grid. Like, great. And then just like, that's kind of it. And then he comes back and dies, So it's like, what a waste.
Because again, I feel like if this was like a 1 episode miniseries, like a 12 episode run or something like that, you get the Ben episode, like episode 4 is just you follow Ben. And it's like a flashback. And then the beginning of episode 5, he just gets shot.
Yeah. But what I think what happens is, if I'm tracking your math right, episode 3 ends with Nicolas Cage goes into one of the rooms and Ben is just in there. And then like, it's like, what? And then episode 4 is the Ben flashback episode. And then he dies in episode 5. Yeah. Right.
Exactly. So we're going to make the Looking Glass TV show.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And I think we're going to bring the entire cast back. Except, it'll be in memory. Everything. Well, it'll be in memory of Ernie Lively, unfortunately.
We'll just reuse all of his footage.
Okay. Yeah. He'll just.
And there's cutting room floor stuff that we could use for Ernie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, we're going to make the Looking Glass TV show. Because that's really the one thing that Nicolas Cage hasn't done is prestige television.
Although it's coming. I don't know if you're aware of that, but they are. There's a Spider-Man Noir, his character from the Spider-Verse miniseries planned by Sony.
Is it going to be live action?
It is live action. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Let's
look, the man, is someone who has an eclectic filmography, which is why we always do this. But the one siren song that will always lure Nicolas Cage is any Marvel project.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Father of Kal-El Coppola.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you offer that man a comic book movie, and
he's not going to say no out of hand.
Yeah, the guy who, his stage name is from Luke Cage, who, almost was Superman in a project that never quite came together. I guess technically was, because he showed up in that Flash movie that we should also do for this podcast.
Well, because he's another example of the phrase that we coined that is sweeping the nation, nostalgia.
Yeah. There you go.
Like remembering things that didn't happen, a la Nic Cage as Superman, Channing Tatum as Gambit. Nostalgia. Yeah,
its own like self-manifesting Mandela effect kind of thing of like, we're just bringing into reality things that never were but almost were.
Exactly. But yeah, no, this movie, like, it's really, and I hate to shit on the writer, but it's a good script away from being something special.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm always will try to defend writers as much as possible. It's very hard to write a good screenplay, and I'm very sympathetic towards the work. But I think every other element is really working well here. You have a good cast. You have some great cinematography from a really accomplished director. It's just the story is keeping it from being. And it's not even the dialogue. Like, the dialogue is solid. There's like good scenes. No, it's just it's creating a mystery that is completely unsatisfying in its payoff.
Yeah. And it's also loosely based on a true story, so that's kind of fun. Yeah,
about a time Nicolas Cage discovered a tunnel where he could watch people in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
That really happened. And he was like, we should do something with this.
There's got to be a movie here.
But Andy, did we do it?
I think we did it.
Did we do
Nic
it?
Cage Month. I think we did it.
Did we do it?
I think we did it.
We did it.
We did it. Yeah, we did.
Silver Linings Playback is a production of HoboTrashcan.com. If you enjoyed the show, please rate or review it on Apple Podcasts. Hear more great shows on the Peak Sloth Podcast Network.